Okay, this is attempt number 3 because I am too dumb to understand how my headphones work. Um, Want to just first tell everybody the reason why I'm doing this and kind of where I'm at. I just recently started developing in Unreal about 3 months ago. Do have some experience, or quite a bit of experience, with other random coding stuff from a variety of different areas. But it was the first time actually, doing game development or anything like that. So yeah, 3 months at this point, and as such, I'll show you what I've managed to do in 3 months with doing it a couple hours here and there, a few nights a week, just to again show you that you can it's up to you what you can actually do with it. But I just wanted to show some of my friends, family, how simple it is to kind of start getting into it, just to kind of maybe pique some of their interest and have them maybe start to learn some stuff and just have something fun to do, because it does actually start to get pretty fun, especially because using the blueprint system, it gets rid of a lot of the aggravation, I'm not going to lie. So down in the below, there's a link to the Epic launcher, which you may already have, just if you've downloaded any games from Epic. That'll pull this up. What you'll do is you'll click over here on the Unreal Engine, go to Library, and then you'll want to click a plus button if there's not already one of these gray things here. If there is, just select the engine you're looking for, hit install, and when you do, it will take a while to install, and then you'll have the current versions up here, and you can launch from here. I am working in Preview 1, which basically Unreal 5 is the newest version that's coming out, that I think the actual release version is going to be later this year. The Early Access 2 that I was in and the Preview 1 that I'm in right now basically lets you get a taste of it, see some of the new features, and my thought in doing it was, if I'm going to learn, I might as well learn the new stuff instead of the old stuff, just because, that's what I like to do. And basically, because I literally just switched from the early to the preview, some things kind of broke in the transition there, but it happens. And honestly, as I'm teaching you guys stuff, I'll probably fix a few of the things in my own code, or maybe just completely revamp it altogether, because, why not? But anyway, so you click launch, it'll pop up your project browser here. And over on the left, you can click games. You have a variety of templates. In the version 4, there's more templates just because they've had a chance to add more in there. But the one we're going to be most concerned with is the third-person one. And what you want to do is check Blueprint. And what the Blueprint is instead of having to actually manually type out everything, it's a series of nodes that you connect with wires, basically. And it'll make more sense when I show it, don't worry. But it makes it so much easier, because instead of being pissed off that there was some comma you forgot to put somewhere, or you put a colon instead of a semicolon, it gets rid of a lot of that. So it's a good thing. Click on keep or starter content, and then give it a name, and then create. What you do, it'll load into here, and I will give you kind of a breakdown of what we're looking at. So I picked the wrong type, didn't I? Wow, I'm an idiot. Let's just go new project, third person, learning 2. Oh, literally this is third or fourth or 25th time I've tried to record this thing, so it's been a long night, and then I had to try and fix a few things in between. But hey, now we're in the right area. So here's just kind of your starting area for this third person one, and it's pretty boring, but it is what it is. Click play right there, and hey, here you're at. You can run around, you can run into these boxes that move around, you can jump, and that's about it, because that's all he's programmed to do at this point. But it's the base of what it is. And this mannequin guy here, there's a boatload of animations you can get for him, and you can also add in new animations from a variety of places, and I'll eventually get to doing that. So yeah, so let's hit escape, get out of there. And let me just give you a breakdown of the areas. So down here is the content browser. Yours may look different, because I've got a few things that were I moved around to make it easier on myself. Basically, content browser is where all your files and stuff are. For example, the starter content that we added, or selected, those are all down here. You've got blueprints, which basically are things that have a variety of different can do a variety of different things. Literally, is a blueprint of an object. Get rid of that. You've got these here props, which are mostly static meshes, which are basically, they just are what they are. They don't do anything other than look like something. So you can jump on them potentially if you want to, because they have, if they have collision enabled. But yeah, so that's what that is. So that's the content browser, and you can change the color of your folders if you want to for organization. And organization is very important because you're going to have a lot of folders and files once you start getting content from 1,000 different sources. So very important. So up here is when you've got your play editor area here to start, and once you're in there, you can pause it, you can stop it, you can change where it's actually playing at. You can do it in the selected viewport there. You can have it pop up on its own. Let's see, up here's level sequencing, which I haven't really messed with. World blueprints, we'll go into those later on. And then quickly add different basic things, lighting. And there's also other areas where you've got, you can add additional things up here. It's very customizable. You can move everything around as much as you want to. I mean, you can drag, drop, just everything can move basically. So the mode we're in right now is called select mode, and as it suggests, it's where you can select things, you can move them, you can rotate them, you can resize them, and over here in the details area, you may have noticed the numbers moving because those are literally the details for this object that's selected. Transform, which is where it is, how big it is, that kind of stuff. Static mesh is literally the actual mesh that is right there. Element is kind of what it's made of. It's hard to explain. I'll go into more depth later. Again, I've literally been doing this for 3 months, so then there's years worth of information in here for different areas. I mean, there's a reason why they have people who work on very specific things instead of one guy trying to do it all. So keep that in mind. One thing I did want to point out, when I'm resizing, you see it's like kind of steps right there. That's because it's set to kind of snap on a grid, but now it's just free. So those are the different ways you can adjust that. So that's, and over here in the outline of these are literally every item that's in your world over here. So if it's out there, it's in there. So it's an easy way to kind of look for what you're looking for. This literally includes the light in the sky, and you can do all kinds of different stuff with lighting and moving things around, and there's just so much. And actually the atmosphere itself in the sky, I mean, let's say if we want to get rid of that. Now there's no more atmosphere. So just everything that is yours to control basically. So next mode would be landscape mode, which is where you can literally build a landscape. So if we switch from perspective mode up here to top mode, there's lots of different views you can get into. You can see basically there's all the items that were in that level that we saw, but this green area would be the landscape that it's going to build, which I think it's 500 meters by 500 meters with the 8 by 8, but it can go up to 32 by 32, and it can just get ridiculously big, and you can have multiple ones in there that are that size, and that's 2 kilometers by 2 kilometers. So yeah, pretty big. Let's say we created that landscape, and then we go and we give it a texture, which we'll go into textures much more detail because there's so much you can do with those also. There's so much you can do with everything. But basically if we go ahead and apply that and then go back here to perspective mode, we can see now the world has bricks, and you can make the world, move things around, build things. You can make chasms. You can shape the world as you see fit. And again, we'll go into all this so much more detail because there's so much more to do. Next one would be foliage mode, which is where you can basically drop out any static mesh you want to, just in massive amounts. So for example, I'll show this in a little bit. You can put grass on top of your grass basically, so that you've got grass texture on the ground, but then actual 3-dimensional grass sticking up out of the ground. mesh paint, modeling, fracture, brush editing, animation. I know basically nothing of that because I have not yet had to use them very much. It's been a lot of what I've learned has been, hey, I want to do this. How can I do that? And those just haven't been in those areas. And that's a lot of what this is. It's just you think to yourself, hey, I saw this in a game. I wonder how they did that. And you figure out one baby step at a time. And it's all about baby steps. It's just everything is one little thing at a time. So, that's how you got to think about it is, okay, how do I get from point A to B to C to D before I eventually get to Q? But let's go ahead and go back into select mode. Actually, what I'm going to do is open up my project at 3 months, what I've done. And when I say 3 months, again, that's a few hours, few hours a night, a few nights a week. So not a ton, and I've restarted it multiple times just because I constantly could change what I was wanting to do. So, all kinds of fun stuff. So let's go ahead and open this up. Don't worry about saving that. But I'll just kind of give you a quick idea of some of the stuff that, over 3 months' time I was able to kind of put in and make. And it ain't the prettiest because I haven't spent a lot of time. I've been working more on function than form. So this is what the old third-person starter one looked like, minus a bunch of the stuff on the ground. But what we can do is go ahead and play in this one, and we can see we've got the character here. We've got NPCs who've got weapons equipped over here. One's got armor equipped. We've got a lot of different items on the ground that can be picked up. And we've got up there, we've got in our HUD, we've got a health bar, mana bar, stamina bar. We've got a mini map that for this level actually has a map drawn. It's one of those where, did it once to figure out or to learn how to do it and didn't really do it again because I haven't had the time because I've been learning other stuff. But so we've got, and don't worry about those things just saying up on the top right because those are just test things. But so we've picked up a bunch of items. So I want to go over here to this guy who gives us quests. So we pick up this quest and we can have that quest and we can go into our quest log. And these things were working better before everything switched over, and I think a few things just broke connection because they changed variable types of a few things. But anyway, we've got our inventory where we've got items, health potion. It won't let me use it because I'm already at full health. So you've got, and one thing that I was able to put into mine was I have it so items have very random stats, random resistances, random improvements. This one, for example, increases your magic attack by 1 and has a physical resistance of 27. There are different resistance types, which I don't know why it's not showing the rest of them. There should be showing like 7 of them in there. Again, it's one of those where I have to figure out some of the things that stopped working when it transitioned over. But basically, like, let's see. So those ones give me an improvement of 1 on my max health. So I was at 50 health, or had a max health of 50, now it's up to 51. Something else I put in here is a stat screen, and you can basically, so I'm going to just give myself free experience here real quick. Basically, you can improve stats to, customize your character, and each one of the stats you improves an actual skill, which in turn, is used to impact damage, how well you hit. As you use it, you'll actually gain skill experience, and then that'll reduce how much you need to raise it. Basically, you've got a variety of different skills in there, descriptions on each of them. You've also got spells and attacks, which you can sort out by melee attacks. Spells don't have any ranged attacks right now. So you've got, let's go ahead and put Fireball up in slot 1, and we'll put this Uppercut Slice in slot 2. And hit that. So we'll hold 1 for a Fireball. We've got a cursor there, and launches a Fireball out. And let me see. So that guy right there, I need to fix his health bar because it's not working right. But the bottom left would be a health bar that would normally work, and I think for some reason he doesn't have any stats set because sometimes they get wiped out. It's really weird the way things happen when they crash. But anyway, so let's go ahead and switch into melee mode. We can see we've got a variety of different attacks that are done in an initial animation attack there. Then you've got special attack, and let me make sure. And as you can see for the spells, it uses the mana up at the top left. The special attack doesn't actually have mana or stamina cost at this point, just because I didn't add one in yet. But yeah, and there's actually more that I'd really like to show, but a couple things are broken. But let me show you something else real quick, though. So let's go ahead and open. Come on, open. Level here. So play from here. See, we've got houses, we've got landscapes, we've got, people who I don't think I've actually got them doing anything other than standing there. Yeah, just saying random stuff because he doesn't have any quests or anything available. But you've got his stats over here, which that's actually broken also because there's actually no, he's level 1. But basically, the NPCs, they actually will level up themselves along with when the enemies are spawned. They will spawn at random levels, which again, I lost some of the stuff relating to the AI on that, but you've got, stuff that can be collected, and these will actually respawn after a while inside of here. I just don't remember how long they're actually set to take to respawn, but these things will grow. You can have it set so that the items that pop up over here grow at random heights. Basically, I've got it set so it's literally just a spawn zone, so it'll spawn anywhere from 1 to 25 of, some random item inside of there. Because see right there, it just respawns, so you can go pick it up, and you've got plenty of stuff inside of here. Got your inventory right there. So it's just all kinds of different stuff. Yeah. So I'm just trying to think of what else, but yeah, again, this is just kind of trying to show a little bit of different stuff around, and again to kind of show at 3 months what I was able to pop out just by messing around mostly. Oh, actually, one other thing I want to show real quick is inside of the house over here, which this house I've got it set so that it's not just for looks. It has a door that opens there, but you've got it so like the light that comes in makes it look like it's coming from the actual windows themselves, and mushrooms growing in the house. So and it definitely actually I need to. It's interesting. That may be one of the lighting things they actually adjusted, because they actually made some lighting improvements that may have made what I made my lighting do completely irrelevant. So that's actually kind of cool. But that's for something else I'll worry about. But anyway, just want to give an overview. So yeah, that's that. Bye.